All right, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. Just driving down to Houston from Pittsburgh. So, got myself a 20-hour drive, and so I'm going to do a multitude of different things as I'm driving. Do this little live session. I'll check in a little bit later. Well, not a little bit, a lot later in several hours, probably in the middle of the night. Do a little midnight live session. And then I'll also do a little bit of Anchor. I have a business Ask Me Anything feed going on right now, Business AMA. We're talking about career progression, climbing that corporate ladder, getting out of a rut, getting out of your comfort zone to get to where you want to go. How you doing, Samson? And then I'll also, each time I fill up for gas or stop to take a break, a bio break, got my 35-pound dumbbell right behind me, and I'll be doing pumping some gas, pumping some iron. Haven't done that in a while. I haven't had a long road trip in a while. And then I'll also do some quick videos while I'm at the gas station. Maybe do some of the business Ask Me Anything things. If I can do a quick 1 minute hit it and quit it kind of a scenario, then that'll be pretty powerful and valuable, I think. So that's what we got going on. Now, I know for a lot of people that do road trips, they have like their particular snacks, their particular foods. For me, candy, lemon heads, Sour Patch Kids, some Chex Mix chips, if I can. Popcorn's good, and anything that's kind of keeping me going. There's gum as well. Sometimes, and then for me, my beverage of choice is typically water. But if I need some caffeine, I'll hit up some Coke or Pepsi. Depends on the carbonation. Love Chex Mix. All right, we're in the same mindset. Is NOS. So if I start getting tired, I will bust open my thing of NOS. Right here. It's chilled from the refrigerator, ready to go. Actually, you know what? I'll put it right here inside the middle console here. Get them ready in case I need myself a little bit of that go-getter, that little pick-me-up. That's important. For me, it's about like preparation. Amy, how you doing? I'm coming down to Houston. What's up right now? So going to visit family. Brother's 40th birthday is coming up, so going to be able to spend some time with him and his family. My folks live in Houston. My grandfather lives with my folks, so it'll be a great opportunity to be able to meet up with my people down there in Houston. So that's the point of the road trip. So I'm taking this one solo. My partner in crime, my wife, would have to do the road trips together. So this one I'm just going to be doing myself. Let's see. I used to drink as a kid when they had the little plastic plastic nitrates. Like, yeah, I remember that with the little bottle opener. Yeah, I remember that. That is quite the memory lane. Then you go back, just as I do, into those old school days of NOS. I guess I got away from that because they wanted it to be like, hey, it's okay to drink. It's not like chemically driven. Although, I mean, I'm sure a lot of it is, but they're trying to get away from that perspective, right? Like that's the attitude towards like soft drinks, right? Is that they're evil and they're bad because they got chemicals and blah 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 blah. So anyway, those are my go-tos. Sometimes I'll pick up some beef jerky. The problem that I have is on a long road trip like this, 20 hours, I have zero discipline on like savoring out that beef jerky. So that beef jerky bag is like gone in moments, which is just not helpful because, for me, like the snacking, not only obviously it's to keep you keep nutrients, right? Because I'm going to be driving for 20 hours, which is an entire day, but it's to keep me awake as well, so that chewing keeps me awake. For me, sometimes, I'll make up some phone calls. Talking to people definitely has a tendency to keep me alert and awake. The tough thing is that in the middle of the night, there's very few people that want to talk to me at 2 or 3 in the morning, even if they're like Pacific time and I'm here in the Central Time Zone. Just subtract out 2 hours. Now maybe. Do I still have anybody? I still have a few buddies in Hawaii. Maybe I'll reach out to them. That's like a 5-hour time zone difference. So sometimes getting out with them in Hawaii is good. Let's see. What's your favorite jerky brand? I like this one called like Old Tillamook. It's more like, it's not that, so Jack Links typically I go for like the beef jerky bags, but then it is those beef sticks, the old Tillamook or something. They're like these long beef sticks, and I'll usually get the spicy ones. I like the flavoring. Again, I'll get like 4 or 5 of them. I'm like, yeah, I can ration these little sticks out. I can get a pound bag of, Jack Links hot and peppered jerky, and it's like gone. And I've barely even like driven an hour. You know what I mean? So that doesn't help. Okay, so that's what we're going about right now. I thought I'd do a little live session. It's been a while since I checked in with everybody, and I hope you're doing well. And I honestly mean that. Like if we were to meet face to face, I would wish you nothing but the best in life. And if there was any way that I could be of any value to you, any assistance, pipe you into my network, I would love to be able to help anybody out. It's just kind of how I'm wired. I know other people, like, if they can help you, give you advice, like there's more of that teacher mentality. A buddy of mine, he's more of that motherly, fatherly instinct where he's looking at, hey, how are you doing and how can I help you? That's his language of love. And for me, I'm genuinely, like, I absolutely love people, and I love engaging with strangers. I love, working the room and getting to know people's stories, asking them questions on what's important in their life and what kind of keeps them up at night, or what are they excited about, and I love to be able to hear what kind of goes on in their minds. Gotta go to Menards and get a giant bags. Have fun with that, man. Save big money at Menards. Which reminds me, by the way, Menards started by a guy named John Menard out in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, the western part of the state, and the guy is absolutely loaded. KT, what's up, buddy? Thanks for coming. Appreciate the waving right back to you live on this session. And the cool thing about John Menard is that he owns Menards. Like, it's not been like publicly traded. He hasn't like run it for stock. So it's pretty phenomenal. Quite a big brand. He's kind of an icon in Wisconsin for obviously having Menards going on. We are spitting Menards. That's right. The wisdom at Menards. KT, for those that don't know, that's on. He's big into the outdoors. So like lawn care. So he's probably very familiar with Menards. No, that's true. Actually, that's true. The East Coast does not have any Menards. It's more of a Midwest thing, but it's kind of like your Home Depot type of a business. Appliances, DIY, and so for do-it-yourself fixing of homes or renovations. So real interesting business. I know I met John Menard's one of like the pilots that works on one of the jets. I think he's got like 4 727s or 737s that he uses for work, not just his own, but they're the company jets that they use in order to get to different stores as quickly as possible. Lowe's, HD, Home Depot, and Ace are the main 3 out here in Jersey. That makes a lot of sense. Ace really being that franchise type model, Home Depot and Lowe's, of course, being those big boxes. And so one of the cool things, I was in IKEA the other day, and you can totally tell that the way that it flows through is that someone's shopped in those stores from the top down. The one thing that came to mind was they had these little pencils and tape that was like measuring sticks, like they went like 40 inches long, and so because that became a question. If you're there shopping and you forgot to bring a tape measure, you want to see if it's going to fit. You might call like your spouse or your parents and be like, hey, can you go run over to my house and see, does this couch, is it going to actually fit in through that front door? And so it's interesting, like it's those kind of subtle moves that companies make that makes you think that they've thought about your shopping experience at a place like IKEA, which is really kind of cool. Got to go on the road. No problem, buddy. Hopefully we can meet again soon. Absolutely. We'll chat with you soon. Mikey, what's good? Yeah, Mikey's in the house too. Welcome, Mike Wallace. So for those that just joined on, right now leaving Pittsburgh, driving to Houston, 20-hour drive. Should have myself a lot of fun. Gonna do some curls. Start off here with live session. Do a little anchor a little bit later. I'm mulling over some of my thoughts in regards to I want to do a nice long session here and break it into different segments. I do have a business Ask Me Anything feed going on right now about career progression and climbing the corporate ladder, or going off on your own and starting your own business. And so I want it's called career progression. And so I have gosh, I think like a dozen or so questions already that people have asked, and so those are fun for me to be able to create some individual videos. I of course answer back in text format. Creating video for like Instagram or YouTube, for me, can be really enjoyable, and it's just that another way to be able to connect with people that might be more visual learners. Let's see, what does KT say? Enjoy the journey, man. Can't wait to see the IGTV. That's right, we'll be doing some of those curls, buddy. Vlog action, absolutely. So I'm trying to be able to, I'm working at making the things a little bit different. So the vlog, the Crazy Asian vlog, where I summarize what I'm doing from a career perspective, is on YouTube, where I want IGTV to be a little bit more of the personal story, the personal narrative, as I journal in or check in on a personal level with what I'm doing. So I might talk about the family in general, just because I think it's my family's responsibility, or no, excuse me, it's their opportunity, and of course their decision of how public they want to be versus me, which is all public. On your way to Houston, that is right, Mike. I am down to your neck of the woods, my friend. I'm going to be staying there at my folks, and then got a few meetings down there this week, so I'll be staying basically the entire week. Should have myself a great time. Got to go west, 70 west, gentlemen. That's where we're headed, and lady, if there's a lady on. So yeah, so that's kind of how I'm splitting it up. Anchor, I still have my themes: Mondays leadership, Tuesdays career progression, Wednesdays motivation, Thursdays social media, and then Friday I polish it off with personal development. And so I've been doing a couple sessions where I do a little bit more long-winded. The first one I did is Unapologetically You. The second one I did was Walking into the Unknown. And so I might title this next one The Unknown and talk about what I'm doing there, which is kind of cool. Sweet, yeah, absolutely. KT, privacy is key on social, all aspects. Absolutely, especially when they're minors. You know what I mean, KT? Because I know a lot of parents that they put out a lot of stuff about their children, and that it's all fine and dandy. But what if your children in the future want there to have been a little bit more privacy regarding who they are and how they're being held out there, and so that you got to respect their wishes. In my opinion, that's just a Crazy Asian Sherm's thoughts, and every other parent, has their own prerogative in what they want to do, and I'm not there. My role isn't to judge what somebody else decides to do. I'm just telling you my thought process behind what I'm doing. So on the IGTV, I want to be able to do some different personal vlogging versus the Crazy Asians, be more of this business vlog, and then the videos, the 1-minute quips, can be just thoughts out there for those that want to improve and get better. That is my thoughts right now today, July, what is it? It's the 6th, 2018. It's consistently evolving over time, especially as things change. So with IGTV here, I wanted it to be a little bit different because it is a vertical format, so it's ideally consumed in a cell phone format. And so I kind of shied away from doing a 15-minute video or a longer video, because kind of that cell phone is more of that hit it and quit it. So I'm experimenting with that to see how that's going to play out. And so I'll let you guys know if anything, if I make any decisions as I continue to use the platform a little bit more, or the feature, excuse me. I find that being diverse with your content sparks more value. Absolutely. Adapting is key. So true, KT. And I think one of the biggest struggles is that if we're not adjusting as things change, we'll find ourselves like the proverbial, elderly person that says, I don't know how do you listen to them, boombox VHS things, or I don't understand this interweb thing. Well, again, that's because you abandoned learning it because you thought it was going to be too difficult, and in reality, if you were to engage with it, you would find it to be much more intuitive than you would think. If you think about like how complex our cell phones are now, they don't even come with instruction manuals. But I remember the first cell phone I had. Now this goes back to like 2001 or 2001, and it came with a very thick instruction manual. Even told you how to be able to text message, because it was, I guess, that complicated for most people. We're meant to adapt and change. Staying in spot too long makes you sink or get old. Absolutely. There is a lot of, correlation from that analogy of swimming, treading water, and life. That if we don't constantly make decisions, we can find ourselves sinking in a way that's very detrimental to our overall progression and our overall psyche. I think it's extremely important for each of us to move ourselves in a manner that we feel is motivating for ourselves. And what motivates me today in 2018 to run after 2019 and beyond might not be the same motivation 4 years from now, or 2 years from now, or heck, even a year from now. And so I think for some people, they think they need to come up to this universal truth when they couldn't be farther from the truth, in that it's necessary to be able to know what you don't like, what you don't want to do, who you don't want to be, just as much as it's important to know who you want to be and where you're headed. I think sometimes people, they see that failure, that misstep, and so instead of making that misstep, they decide not to do anything, and that can be very, the lesson learned is extremely valuable. Unfortunately, failures, mistakes, setbacks are typically our greatest teacher, because we had to work out, we were, in a sense, forced to figure out a solution, even when we thought that there wasn't one. So let's see, what does KT say? No one moment is the same. One moment can spark a revolution. Absolutely. And isn't that true? If we look at history, there's been people before that talked about being independent, or taxation without representation, but it wasn't until that declaration was signed that the real revolution really started here in the United States. All right, everybody, if I can be of any value to you, please let me know. Appreciate y'all your time and attention. Sherm's out.